first, you know who's next. I got this overly inflated balloon animal. This heavy-ass Ricky Martin wannabe. This Poha China. He better not step in here, because this is my cage tonight. It's my octagon. This Poha China, he been talking shit. Oh, I'm gonna smash him, bro. I don't like this guy, this Israel guy. I want to rearrange his face. Trust me, when I'm done with him, he'll really look like Ricky Martin. Botched.
Dana, I wanted to start with you and ask you about the significance of the main event, right? Just the second time in UFC history to have a men's title fight with an undefeated champion, an undefeated challenger. Historically, what's the importance of this fight?
Yeah, no, I love these kind of fights. When you have two of the baddest dudes in the world, undefeated, in their prime, facing off for the world title, nothing gets better than this.
Israel, I wanted to ask you, I know we kind of just got here and we're out on a beach right now, but what kind of energy are you picking up for Paulo right now?
Weak from cutting weight. I can see he's sucked out, he's dry, the sun's affecting him. He's never made 185 on the dot. And that 1 pound, that 600 grams is a lot, especially if you've never been there before. But it's never really been an issue for me. I feel great, I don't feel drawn out. I can be in the sun all day, but I just like to relax when it's fight week.
Paulo, let me ask you, I mean, we're looking at this as your power versus his precision, right? But I wonder, should we be talking more about your grappling, your jiu-jitsu background? Are we looking at this fight the wrong way?
Before becoming striking, I was grappler. I'm black belt jiu-jitsu. My brother is here, my coach. This fight can be on the ground also.
He sucked as a grappler. Whenever he shoots, he loses his gas tank within the first or second shot.
You never saw my grappling.
No. You can't grapple for
bull. You're blue belt of jiu-jitsu. You cannot say nothing about jiu-jitsu.
On the
blue belt of jiu-jitsu. You're like a kid on
jiu-jitsu. If I grab your neck, trust me, I'm not going to give it back.
Talk about jiu-jitsu with me. You're crazy. You'll never put one gear on your skinny body, huh?
Thank you all for being here. We are now ready to go. It is the weigh-in for UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. First fighter to the scale, challenging for the UFC Middleweight Championship here tomorrow night. Please welcome Paulo Costa. 185, the official weight for Paulo Costa. All right, now we get to the man who will be the last to make the walk here tomorrow night, the man around which this card was built, the undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. 184 pounds, the official weight for the champion, Israel Adesanya. And finally, our main event for the undisputed UFC Middleweight Championship, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa.
You're a black belt? I have ahead of the game, bro. You're gonna need that when you get downgraded. Don't worry, I'm gonna knock your ass out. Well, I'm knocking your ass out. What you gonna do? Don't worry. It's all theatrics.
So it all comes down to this for the Brazilian bomber, Paulo Costa. As a human being, gracious, kind, thoughtful, humble, it certainly counters the imposing nature of his fighting style. But Paul, we've gotten to know this guy. He doesn't care about money, doesn't really care about fame. He is hell-bent on realizing a UFC championship, and he has left no stone unturned in his desire to get the job done here tonight. Cool as a cucumber, here is the Nigerian-born, New Zealand-raised Israel Adesanya, 8-0 in the UFC, made his debut back in 2018, stopped Derek Brunson later that year to cap a 4-0 first year on the roster, and then it was off to the races for the now undisputed UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. If there is anything like the tension of a UFC championship main event in professional sports, I will take your nominations. And this one in particular, the consensus greatest two middleweights in the world at present, Paulo Costa and Israel Adesanya. Costa closing in the plus 155 range. Israel Adesanya, the champion and the favorite, around minus 175. Paulo Costa is in gray. Israel Adesanya is in the black and gold, befitting a champion.
Ooh, strong leg kick from Izzy to start. Costa waves him on.
Costa still moving pretty well, but do not want to eat too many more of those. Gotta think they were expectant that Izzy was going to attack in that way.
I mean, 20 leg kicks. Look at that. 20 leg kicks landed from Israel Adesanya. And of course, yeah, of course it was expected. But at some point, you've got to try to address it. You've got to go for it, right? And I'm not saying that's easy to do, especially when you're facing such a diverse striker in Israel Adesanya. But at some point, there's a beautiful body kick. There's another one. Oh, left hand switch stance there from Adesanya. He's just so smooth, not even open his mouth to breathe at all here. Almost midway through the second round, looking fantastic.
That one certainly appeared to land, but Costa was able to eat it.
Since he's been attacking the legs so much, Izzy can afford himself now to take risks and start going upstairs, because now he's got Costa's attention so much. Ooh! And then he's out. And then he's going to go to the leg again.
Oh! Knocked down for Adesanya! Costa trying to recover! That is it! Still undisputed! Quick night at the office for the champion, Israel Adesanya!
I know you're mad, but hey, Auckland, Wanganui, Road to Vegas, Lagos City, Mr. Aladidi, Eminele, Miami, Kilo Chalet, nothing carry last.
And still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya!
Hey, like Roy Jones said, I said, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot. Because of what happened last time. You thought, oh, he's so boring, blah, 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 blah. And I see you media people as well with your little clickbait headlines. But trust me, I had to make y'all remember. And I had to remind the world why we the best.